Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 22. I am Trevor and with me this week I have Lucas.
Hey, Hi.
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 How are you?
Not too bad.
Episode 22.
22. Do it for Richie.
Yeah, do it for Richie. Halfway through the All Sports Weekly season or year. Haven't said this on camera, but All Sports Weekly, I'm hoping 44 episodes, one and done. We are at the halfway point of the year, and what a half a year it's been. So everybody, we're on YouTube. Obviously, you're probably watching this there. We're also on SoundCloud. Got something in the works for next week as well. We might be on a bit of a different platform if I can work out how to do it all. At this point, that's where you'll get us. If you'd like to leave a comment, leave it down below. We'll read out anything next week. You can message me on allsportsweekly@outlook.com. And we're on Twitter at allsportsweekly. You on Twitter?
Oh, no.
You're not missing much. Okay. Before we start this week, comment of the week time, and this is from Richard Berry. I did say last week, don't bother. He couldn't help himself. This is about the GOAT tennis player debate. I'm going to get your opinion in a minute. Richard, Rod Laver winning 2 calendar year Grand Slams, 7 years apart, and not being allowed to compete in between those is one hell of an argument for GOAT. Can't argue with that. He was around the war, I believe. So
Yes,
the war? Yeah. Also, for the past 11 years, Federer has won 4 majors to Rafa's 13 and Novak's 18. His record is only one more than Murray or Wawrinka. How on earth can anyone think Federer is the GOAT when he isn't even in the top 2 of the entire generation? It has been brought to my attention Nadal has held the number 1 rating in the 2000s, the 10s and the 20s. But my question to you, Richard, is: are you telling me that that Federer has spanned 2 generations? Because that would be pretty impressive. Do you have an opinion? Who is the best tennis player of all time?
I think it's inevitable that the Joker's going to be end up being the greatest. Not that I really like him that much, but
I don't like him much either.
He's not on the way down, put it that way. And he only needs another one to tie.
Yep.
Rafa and Federer, and the other 2 are on the decline, I reckon.
Definitely.
So
Federer's 40, I think, this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it's inevitable that Djokovic will end up being the GOAT. Whether he is right, I mean, he might get injured and not end up being there, but
Yep.
that's what I'm thinking.
So anyway, mate, the debate rolls on. I did have one comment about Leighton Hewitt, but I'm going to gloss over that. Okay, so Lucas, what have you been watching this week, good mate?
Curling.
Have you?
No,
Extreme Shuffleboard.
Yeah, they got their own streaming service. But
was it curling.com?
No, it's the curler. But the World Championships were on, and but as a matter of fact, Sweden did beat Scotland
in the final.
In the final, it's the 3rd straight year that Sweden won.
High octane match, no doubt.
Yeah, but no, I didn't watch it. But yeah.
Did not see that coming. I have been watching a little bit of NRL, a little bit of Euro 2020. Also caught myself watching a bit of AFL last night with Richmond getting pumped.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Well, they only scored 22 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, lowest Richmond score in something like 70 years.
That's right.
And this debate about Richmond, are they what they used to be, that last night, they're in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm prepared to say they're in trouble. Forget about winning the premiership. Richmond need to worry about making the 8 at this point with what I saw last night. So, interesting times, and the winds have changed in the AFL, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look at some NRL, mate. You're my NRL expert. Fair to say you watch as much NRL as anyone I know.
Yeah, I watch a fair bit, yeah.
Every game if you can.
Yeah, if possible.
If possible. Before we talk about tomorrow's big Origin game, let's have a quick look back at last weekend's NRL. Penrith taking care of the Roosters there. Roosters, obviously, the injury toll is starting to matter.
Yeah.
Penrith got their guns back at home. They don't lose at home.
And coming off a couple of losses, and they were always going to be hard to beat.
Origin affected. Yeah. Now, I don't mean to be too negative, but that sin binning, that just before half time, did you see that?
Yeah.
Where Cleary slipped over.
It's another one where they've fallen into the tackle. And
yeah.
It's, I think there's too much emphasis on the direct force to the head without looking at the circumstances. The circumstance in the tackle, it's just...
Well, he slipped over.
There was no intention.
No. He's also, Trent Robertson asked a very poignant question, is Just tell me what he's meant to do.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to penalise someone for anything in life, there has to be a way they could have avoided it. You cannot penalise people for something that they have no choice in.
No, that's it.
So Trent Robinson's question of just tell us what we need to do to avoid getting penalised again. There's no answer to that.
No.
He asked a very, very clear and concise question that there is no answer to.
Yeah, that's right.
So Cleary slips over, clearly, right? And old mate's arm's down here. He gets sent to 10 in the bin. Penrith score 3 tries in that time. Cleary does not do an HIA,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then old mate goes to the tribunal, no charge. What are we doing to rugby league, mate?
Oh, it's like I said, like there's just too much of an emphasis on this direct force there. That's their term, the way that they're putting it.
And it was called reckless by the referee at the time.
Yeah, but
Reckless.
it's not. I don't believe that was reckless.
No,
that's the
does.
thing.
No, neither does the judiciary.
No.
Neither does anyone watching. Neither do the commentators. Neither do the players.
Yeah, they need to just, be more. Look at the circumstances a bit more.
Have an allowance for the unavoidable incident. That was when this first happened at Magic Round. Aaron came on the show and we were having a bit of a disagreement about that, and I said there has to be some allowance for that unavoidable incident.
Yeah.
But that's not the case at the moment.
No, it hasn't been since round 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, you're this rusted-on rugby league fan, right? Yeah. You'll watch it anyway. You watched Super League and thought it was good. That's how keen you are. That's how keen he is.
It was a pretty good game. A few good games there.
Whereas I'm the rugby league supporter that I love rugby league. I've been watching it a long time. Honestly, on that night, that was a good game. Roosters are up 12-6. That happened by half-time with player in the bin. Penrith score 3 tries. The game's pretty much over. I turned over to other channels. There's other sports on at the same time. I am that guy that left that content. I did not watch the second half.
Yeah, right.
And there'll be a lot of people like that. And that's where the rubber hits the road for the NRL is how keen are they on this? Because the numbers will go down. I'm one of those people. I watched the AFL that day.
Yeah.
The second half,
Yeah.
So, anyway. Rant over. Dragons put in a gritty performance versus the Raiders. Did you see that one, mate?
Yeah, I saw a replay.
Did you see the wind?
Yeah, it was windy.
The windiest game I can recall. One there, Ben Hunt puts up a bomb that starts out about 20 metres ahead and goes about 20 metres behind. Canberra winning at half time.
The faders. Yeah.
The
Canberra faders.
But when St George had the wind for the second half, I was like, that's a 20-point wind breeze at your back.
McCulloch and Ben Hunt had a pretty good game, like both of them.
Yeah, and Benny Hunt played himself into Origin form.
I think he would have been there anyway this week.
Because of the injuries.
Yeah. But back to the Dragons. They're so inconsistent. Like, they're in the top 8, but they've lost more games than they've won. And the previous week they lost to the Bulldogs.
That's right.
They're getting rid of Matt Duffy. I mean,
where's he going to go?
I don't know. I mean, he's no Mum and Barber, but I don't know where.
I was wondering if we were going to get through there without him. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Dragons hot and cold, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now the Storm 66, Tigers 16, and the Storm have got injuries, right? Now Paul Kent made a good point on 360 through the week. For those who didn't see it as well, half time, Michael Maguire came down, spoke for a few minutes to the players, and then actually walked out of the half-time chat. So it's up to you and left, which I don't recall that ever happening. The players sitting there by themselves. The coach is gone. Interesting strategy.
Oh, well, you can only give them a spray so many times. It's the next level, isn't it?
Yeah, just don't talk at all. Is that good coaching, bad coaching? That's a debate. I think they were 40-0 at half-time.
Yeah.
But Paul Kent raised a good point. The Tigers players said they were ambushed, right? Now, you're playing the Melbourne Storm, okay?
Yeah.
At their home at the moment, which is Sunshine Coast, right?
They never lose there.
You've travelled to Queensland. You've got the Storm, right? You get up, you rock up. You're playing terribly, and they go, "Oh, we were ambushed." You don't get ambushed by the Storm. You get ambushed by Canterbury, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might get ambushed in the car park at Bankstown, but you don't get ambushed by the Melbourne Storm. You know that you need to play well to, otherwise you're going to get spanked.
Yeah.
You know, it's unacceptable.
It's a cop out. Yeah.
We got ambushed by the Storm. Yeah, I couldn't get over that one. Now, mate, let's talk about the Titans. Capitulated against Manly. They are running 14th as we speak.
Yeah, well, their like defense is just shocking. Like they're just showing no heart at all, like they did last year.
Yeah. A lot of raps on them before the year started. You remember? People had him in the 8, and
I mean, Justin Holbrook said he's his worst he's felt after a game last week against Manly, and I don't think he's at a loss where to go from here. And he's a good coach. I rate him.
Yeah, I do too. They're letting in some huge scores though.
Yeah, a lot of missed tackles.
But I saw that game. Every time Manly got the ball in that second half, they basically scored or came pretty close.
Yeah.
Tommy Turbo lit it up.
Again.
How good is he going, mate? How well is he going? Better English.
He's definitely the best player going around at the moment.
You have him as the Dalian?
I'm still thinking Cleary.
Cleary gets the votes.
Yeah, I think Cleary should. It's going to be a close one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? So will the Titans make the 8?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they will now. I was hoping they would. I thought they would, and I was hoping they would. Being the Queensland team, I always go for the Queensland clubs, but it's not looking good, unfortunately.
Yep. And Benny Eichen, been on 360 for 9 years. I watch 360 most nights. I know you do.
Yeah.
And he's got the gig at the Broncos, and he's going to looking at the books and the retention of players and the list management. And boy, do the Broncos need someone good at that job at the moment. Is he the right guy?
Yeah, I think he's the perfect replacement for Carmichael Hunt and 5'8" against the Sharks next week.
Benny Eichen gets the gig.
No, but if he does if it's only one thing that he does in this job, and that's get rid of Darren Lockyer, he's done a good job.
That's that bad, is it?
Darren Lockyer should not.
Helm.
Yeah, Darren Lockyer needs to go, and if that's the only thing Ben Eichen does, then I'm happy.
Well, Ben Eichen the other week before he had the job, went on the record and said the Broncos list management was quite disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many you would argue.
No, that's right.
Yeah, we could sit here and name a lot of good players in the last decade that have just left or been told to leave.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
But, because there's a big rebuild that's required there.
It's going to leave a massive hole at NRL 360 too.
Yeah. Everyone wants the job. It's going to feel different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder who'll get it. Oh, well, maybe some good news for the Broncos finally. Are they going to get the spoon again this year?
I hope not. I'm thinking Bulldogs are going to get it.
Do the Bronx play the Bulldogs again? I wonder.
No, they don't.
They don't. That could have been a cracker.
Yeah. Oh, they have to play the Knights and the Tigers and those kind of teams.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about that State of Origin tomorrow here at Suncorp, Game 2. Now, the teams have been named. New South Wales, pretty settled. Same sort of team. Tedesco, To'o, Mitchell, Trebojevic, Adakar, Luai, Cleary, Saifidi, Cook, Paulo, Murray, Sims, Yao, and then the bench, White and Crichton, Haas and Martin. What do you think, mate? Pretty strong?
Oh, yeah.
That back line is scary good.
It's really good. And, to be honest, probably been the least confident going into a Lang Park match I've ever been.
I feel like that's the sentiment.
And
we got touched up.
Yeah, we did. And I'm not, writing Queensland off for this match, but I'm not feeling very confident at all, unfortunately.
So everybody thinks Queensland are going to lose.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Queensland normally like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's when Queensland are expected to do well, I get a bit nervous. Now, you can't go from 50 to 6. I mean, that hurts and certainly has rattled my faith. Do I think Queensland's going to win? Probably not. But this could be one of those moments where Queensland come out and just give it to them.
Well, we did it last year. Can we do it 2 years in a row? But we had Wayne Bennett there last year, so...
Yeah.
That's
Paul Green's a sour puss. What do you think about him as the Origin coach? I know I don't mean to judge him on the one game.
Well, he obviously didn't get something right in that first game. If he learns from the mistakes, you got to give him at least 2 to 3 series before putting any. It's going to be interesting.
3 series. If we're getting beat 50 to 6, I don't want to wait 3 series to get rid of him.
Oh, at least 2. At least 2.
I'll give you 2.
Yeah.
But if we get spanked at home like we did the other week.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
It's got to be hard there. If we lose, that's one thing, but you can't be your heads went down. That's not acceptable in the Queensland jersey.
No.
So, the Queensland team, Reece Walsh, another player that slipped through the Broncos, and he's played 7 NRL games.
Yeah,
and he's Queensland fullback, key position.
Yeah.
Series on the line. Is that a sign that Queensland is desperate? Is this a good choice? Would you have picked him yourself?
Well, it shows the lack of depth that we've got with the injuries and lack of depth. And, I mean, it's, you know, it's experience versus X factor.
Which he's got in spades.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm happy. You know, I'm happy with the selection.
Yeah.
I don't know. Valentine Holmes had a pretty poor game in the first game, and there's not too many other options. So I reckon it's not a bad selection.
Holmes had a pretty average game.
Yeah.
It might be in one of those things that pays off. It could also go spectacularly wrong.
Yeah.
The traffic's going to come at him. You know that first bomb, he needs to take that first one, settle the nerves, and get into the game.
Yeah.
And Queensland need to start well. Now we've got Valentine Holmes in the wing, Capewell and Gagai centres, Kyle Felt the other wing. Munster and Cherry Evans, I feel like they're going to have a better game. I think Munster's, had a couple of rounds under his belt. I still take Munster over Cleary any day, that's just me. Welsh and Papali'i as the props. Now, Welsh unluckily went off early in the last game, right?
Yeah, that was a massive loss.
Having Richard here on the couch the other week, he was saying that the way that the NRL's played at the moment, he reckons the big guy is going to struggle. What do you think? I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
His opinion on that one.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Do having big props like Papali'i back, is that a good thing?
Oh, it depends on their motor. If they've got a big motor, they're fine. If they haven't, then it's no good. Like, I think that the big guys, that have the big motor, they're definitely a spot for them.
The weather at the moment is wet. No, I haven't seen the forecast.
Oh, I hope it's pissing down tomorrow.
But if it is, then those big Fords are going to come into it, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the forecast is actually fine, I think.
Right.
But I hope it pisses down, eh?
Do you like McCulloch back at hooker?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have put Hunt?
No, I like Hunt at number 14 because he's so versatile.
Yeah. It's worked before.
He should have been number 14 in the first game, if you ask me.
Okay. Arrow Kafusi, Tino, I'm not going to say the surname. Hunt, Francis Molo, Fafita, and how do I say that?
Francis Molo.
No.
Fotoaka.
Fotoaka. Okay, mate, go on the record. Prediction. Score prediction, or, are we going to win?
No, I think we're going to lose by 16.
Ouch.
Unfortunately. But, I hope I'm wrong.
Me too.
I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too. I'm not confident. I don't think any Queenslander is, but I'm hoping for a little bit of magic, mate. Is there if there was one thing that we could do differently, what would it be?
Well, if you look at the stats, like the run meters, Queensland only ran for 1,200 run meters. New South Wales ran for 1,800, roughly.
That's a big difference.
And of those, if you break it down even further, like the back five of New South Wales ran for almost 1,000 meters. And the Queensland back five ran for less than 500. So
the back line lit it up.
The back five, we need to just stop their back five from gaining that advantage. Like whether that's putting it into touch more or kicking early. I mean, putting it into touch isn't as effective these days because you don't have a scrum. But still, if we can get our line set quicker by putting it into touch or kicking in the third or fourth and making them turn around, like just small things like that could make a big difference. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I hate to say this, but a lot of these New South Wales players that are pretty good are young.
Yeah.
Getting that vibe like when we had our run, if we get spanked, say, this series, are we looking at a potential lean patch for years to come? A dynasty for New South Wales?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, they haven't even won this series yet. And
yeah?
No.
All right, cool. Settle down, Trev. I like it. All right, mate. Well, fingers crossed for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to quickly have a playoff update. There's different playoffs happening around at the moment. Just quickly now. Bloody Montreal I'm talking the NHL here. Montreal have beaten Vegas. They only slipped into the playoffs in general. This is the team I like to dislike. They've won 4-2. Montreal will play for the Stanley Cup starting next week. Their first time they've made the Stanley Cup playoff since 1993.
A great year.
93.
It was a great year.
It was a good year. But so Montreal are just winning, and there's just something about them. They shouldn't have got this far, beating my beloved Maple Leafs. I'm not happy. As we're filming this, pretty much around now, there's the Game 7 on the other side there with the Islanders and the current Stanley Cup holders, Tampa Bay. That's going down to the 7th game. That's happening this morning, so we'll let you know next week. But the Stanley Cup, Montreal versus either New York or Tampa, that's happening next week. And currently, Atlanta are playing Milwaukee in the NBA playoffs. Atlanta is winning that 1-0. And Phoenix on the other side are beating the Clippers 2-1. Those series will keep going this week with the two teams to play for the NBA championship next week after that. And last night we saw a new premier crowned in the NBL with Melbourne United have swept the series. It was best of 5, 3-0, swept the series. They've beaten Perth. Perth unfortunately had some injuries at the wrong time of the year. Bryce Cotton, the best player in the league, was unavailable. 3-0. Melbourne United, premiers of the NBL. Congratulations to them. Bullets next year, mate.
Yes.
So yeah, premiership has been decided. That was last night. Now, this is interesting, mate. We're going to talk a bit of cricket here.
Yeah.
Now, Australia is preparing for the T20 World Cup this year. And to do that, we've got 2 T20 series abroad. One against West Indies and once against Bangladesh. Now, a whole lot of players aren't going. Now, the players who aren't going, Pat Cummins, Glenn Maxwell, David Warner, Steve Smith, Marcus Stoinis, Jai Richardson and Kane Richardson, all confirmed their withdrawal from Australia's upcoming tours, leaving coach Justin Langer without 7 of his best players, 4 months out from the World Cup. Now, out of those players, Steve Smith is actually injured. He has an elbow injury, and that is a legitimate reason he's not going.
Yeah.
But the other players are just, quote, requested not to be considered for the tour for various reasons.
Well, is it a coincidence that they all played in the IPL?
Right.
Were they spooked by their IPL experience?
And I'm not happy with this.
No.
I mean, so if you remember just before the IPL, we were meant to play a test series against South Africa.
Yeah,
The players didn't go because of COVID concerns. Right?
It wasn't their decision. It was the board's decision, though. It wasn't the players' decision.
Okay, so the players had no say in it?
No, I don't believe they did.
Okay.
As much as I...
Because a lot of those players then went and played the IPL where we knew there was COVID.
Yeah, they shouldn't have gone ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they did it for money.
Yeah.
Now they've asked to go here. The board of Cricket Australia is telling them to go. They don't want to go.
Yeah.
Is this the day where playing for Australia in limited overs just doesn't have that shine to it anymore? Is that where we're at now?
Oh, the pandemic has got something to do with it.
It's got a lot to do with it. But is the money not enough for them?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
If another IPL kicked off today, would those players who've said they can't go to this, would they go to that?
If the money's right. If the money was enough, they would. Yeah.
So that's pretty grim.
It's not good.
It's
crap that they play IPL and then don't turn up for Australia in a World Cup year.
So some players are going to get a gig here, to fill in. But do you think those players who've declined to go should be available for the World Cup, should be chosen for the World Cup? Because I don't.
No, I'd probably rather than play against England anyway in the Ashes and be primed for the Ashes. But yeah.
But what would you say if after that tour, because the World Cup's in 4 months, and David Warner goes, "Okay, boss, I'm available."
Yeah.
I think it
I
stinks.
don't know. I'd probably consider each player and their reason. If there is a valid reason. If it's not a valid reason, then
everybody's got a sob story, mate.
Yeah.
But playing for Australia shouldn't be a choice that you can turn off and on again when it suits you. I don't think. My opinion. Right. Leave a comment down below if you have an opinion on that either way. Now, the World Test Championship final has happened, mate.
Yeah.
It went 6 days.
Go the Kiwis.
Now, going through it was rain day 1, most of day 2. I'm thinking, well, this is a dud. I didn't know they had the ability to go for a 6th day, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
New Zealand are the Test world champions, I guess you're going to say. Ended up winning by 8 wickets on day 6. The better team,
I'm not surprised that New Zealand have had such a successful tour of England. They did beat England in the two match series before this.
Yep.
A weakened England side with no couple of IPL players not playing, Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer, I think. But they did win that series, and then and also claimed the number 1 ranking in the world, and then beat India. And that player of the match for that game was Kyle Jamieson.
Yep.
And I rate him. I watched his debut match last year, February 2020, against India in New Zealand, and the guy is a weapon.
One for the future?
Oh man, he's the tallest player to ever play for New Zealand. He stands at 203 centimetres. Since then he's played 8 games and averages 14 with the ball.
Okay. And there was a green deck too. It was so wet.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like New Zealand is perfect. Like it's so similar to English conditions.
Yep.
And he swings the ball and he can bowl up to 140 k's an hour. Actually, I reckon that when Australia tour England, they should tour New Zealand as a preparation.
I think we should play way more there.
Yeah, but particularly in the lead up to English series, because it's the perfect preparation in those kind of conditions. We'd probably lose to New Zealand over there, but then we're going to be all the better for it.
A swinging ball.
Like when we get to England, like that's the kind of bigger.
I'm no fan of New Zealand, but I have to say I'm happy for them. I'm not an Indian fan either, and New Zealand were dead set and robbed in the 50 over World Cup over there.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that New Zealand got a trophy because they were robbed.
And I'm glad India didn't win too.
Yeah, that's right. All right, mate. There's quickly a bit of football, mate. A-League Grand Final tomorrow. This one's kind of gone to script. The 2 best teams of the season are going to play in the final, Melbourne and Sydney. I mean, you can't begrudge them. They're the 2 best teams. Melbourne now with COVID restrictions leaving, it's able to have a crowd. I think it's 50%. So that's something. Melbourne have won the Premier's Plate, but Sydney are going for 3 premierships, 3 grand finals in a row.
Yeah, right.
So you've got the best team all year against a team that's trying to win 3. No one's ever won 3 before. The Brisbane Roar won 3 out of 4, but they won back-to-back. So it's never been done. History could be being made. It's also the last game for Foxtel of A-League. We're going to a combination of streaming service and Channel 10.
Yeah, well, that's annoying, eh?
Yep, it is for me anyway. And the Euro 2020 is on at the moment. We're down to the knockout stage. Caught any Euro, mate?
Yeah, I've been following this. I'm in a footy tipping comp with you.
Yeah, you're doing better than I am, I have to say.
But,
you're doing all right?
Yeah. Well, the matchup, like in this round of 16, is definitely England versus Germany.
England versus Germany. Yeah. Everyone's looking forward to that. English nightmares. I won't go through the whole thing, but basically we're at the point now where it's all knockout. The cream has risen to the top. The 16 teams probably should have been the only teams in it, but there you go. The next week's going to be huge in the Euro 2020.
Actually, just on that, it's just as well that Germany and Poland aren't playing each other, I reckon, because the Polish should be pretty gassed by half time.
Okay. That just happened. Lucas off the leash. I'm a bit nervous after that now, mate. This is a new segment, Lucas off the leash. I have no idea what you're about to say. Hit me.
It's just like
what's
I'm not happy about the State of Origin scheduling. Like it's a standalone Origin weekend and it's on a Sunday night and it's just ridiculous. Like a mate of mine, Lenny, at the start of the year asked me if I wanted to go to the second game.
Yep.
And I looked at it's Sunday night. No, I'm not going. And then like a mate of mine through the week, I messaged him, "You want to watch the Origin?" No, it's on a Sunday night. I'm getting up for 4 in the morning on the Monday. I probably won't even see the second half. So make it on a Saturday night.
Saturday,
or Friday.
I think next year I heard they're only going to go back to the normal Wednesdays.
Yeah, well, that's just as crap, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 1 hot minute. You ready?
Yeah.
Will Jason Taumalolo see out the remaining years on his contract, which would be 2027?
2027, so another 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Should Brisbane have a second NRL team?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who should be the next rugby league immortal?
Okay. Well, what's the...
Throw it over me. Marmon Barber?
Cameron Smith, but no, he's...
You got to be 5 years.
Yeah.
Not Darren Lockyer, eh?
No.
Is Nathan Lyon's spot in the test team under pressure?
No.
No?
No.
So there's no spinners coming
through? Swepson, is definitely an up-and-comer, but I think Lyon's still got his spot.
Yeah, pretty lean summer last year. Should Brisbane be trying to get the Olympics in 2032?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah. I'll go.
That's it. And once again, we're out of time. That's all. How'd you go, mate?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah? Everybody, thanks for watching. We're going to take a week off next week and be back the week after that. Have a nice time and see you later.
Boy.